We just wanted to talk about the most disappointing canceled games ever, or at least in the last, in recent memory. Because between Scalebound, I think another one recently was Star Wars 1313, which, you have Amy Hennig up at EA Visceral, who is working on a Star Wars game, and I think that's kind of rising from the ashes of 1313, from my understanding.
So
kind
dramatic.
of like it's a phoenix from that.
It's been a while though, right? 1313
It has, yeah.
was a long time ago.
Like
It's
2 years.
it's coming from 1313 in the sense that like Overwatch came from Titan.
Yeah.
It's like the studio kind of rebounding, I would say. I don't know, maybe that's a bad comparison, but 1313 looked great. Maybe just because it looked more like this mature Star Wars. The demo they showed, I believe, it's an E3 demo, correct?
Sure.
If it wasn't an E3 demo, it was some big convention stage, and it was a third-person shooter, and based around. They said it was going to be like bounty hunters, right? It wasn't the 1313 specific. I don't know. We need more like Star Wars fans in here. I love Star Wars. We all love Star Wars, but like we need an expert in here.
That's
but
super esoteric.
Don't speak for
knowledge
me.
there.
I don't love Star Wars.
you don't like Star Wars, all right? There we go. Stoking more flames. But yeah, it just never ended up coming to fruition. They were promising this gritty Star Wars adventure, which, I don't know. Most of the time, Star Wars can be pretty lighthearted in terms of video games, unless you're talking about Dark Forces, which is the best Star Wars game ever made, and I'll argue anybody who disagrees. I don't know. Were you guys excited for Star Wars 1313 when you saw it first announced?
It looked nice,
Yeah.
but we didn't have anything to really hang our hat on.
No.
I mean, I like Star Wars too.
Third-person, gritty
Cool.
storytelling.
Yeah, cliched new video game.
Yeah, looked like a cool idea.
Yeah. What about Battlefront 3? In terms of another
That
Star
I was
Wars?
really excited for.
Because we have Battlefront now, but that game's boring.
It's not what I wanted. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Battlefront 3.
I went back to play that recently with DLC, and yeah, that game is boring. I don't like Battlefront that much. It looks great, and as a Star Wars fan, it's fun to be in that universe for a little bit, just the spectacle of the thing and the bombast of these massive like Hoth battles, even though we've been to Hoth 35 times before in video
I've
games.
actually never been to Hoth before.
No.
in video games, okay.
This time of year, it's awful.
Did you play the VR part of the DLC?
No, I did not, but Rob Handlery here says it's pretty awesome.
We should play that. It's out. We've got it.
It's the X-Wing centric one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rob is saying that's more worth playing than the Scarif DLC, like the Rogue One based DLC for Star Wars Battlefront. I'm putting words in his mouth, but
Rob
I
says a
think
lot
he
of
said
things,
that.
though.
Rob does say a lot of things. He's in back right now,
Yeah.
but we won't.
Cut to the Rob cam.
Yeah, cut to the back cam and see if Rob's pissed off if he can. Sean, there he is. I apologize to those listening on the podcast. That joke probably didn't land, but Rob looked pretty pissed off. But yeah, anyway, moving on from that. Star Wars Battlefront 3. That looked really great. I mean, Battlefront 2 was unreal. Between the space battles, the actual overall conquest mode, Galactic Conquest, that was awesome. Like actually upgrading your army, buying the new perks, buying the new units. That's fantastic.
And just like how you conquer the galaxy. You just move from one point to the other, and then like you'll have a space battle here. Like they could be taking back like, I don't know, another planet or something. I don't know. It was a really cool idea. That was kind of a shame that just got cut.
Yeah, I mean, it essentially seemed like what Battlefront is now, but with the actual structure and mechanics of earlier Battlefront games. Like a really good-looking Battlefront 2 for all intents and purposes, which is what everybody in their right mind wants.
Although I don't think it would have looked as good as EA's Battlefront.
No, I think DICE put way more effort into making Battlefront look good. Maybe because they realized the gameplay didn't have much substance to it. Anyway, the most disappointing one I can think of ever, if not just in recent memory, is Silent Hills.
Yeah.
Not just for Guillermo del Toro's involvement, but for obviously Hideo Kojima's involvement, Norman Reedus's, but also just because PT was great. For those who don't know, PT ended up, was released from, I forget what the number is, but it was a pseudonym for Kojima Studios and Kojima Productions. And then it was a playable teaser that ended up, if you completed it after you had, done enough to get through it, it was this, horror video game based in this one house, you would have found out that it was an announcement for Silent Hills.
This actually wasn't in the PT demo.
No, this was not. This is not the PT demo.
This is part of like a prototype for it, right?
Yeah, this looks almost like, I don't know, Allison Road or something. But
this is from the PT production. Just it was not in the playable teaser. There's actually a really cool scene at the end here, I think.
Yeah, the playable teaser was just essentially you going through this one hallway over and over and over again in a house. There was stories of this. Holy shit, I don't remember seeing this.
Yeah, so this guy who's crawling down the hallway right now, people picked apart PT demo and they found the character model for this guy.
Oh, this is the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's disappointing as hell as a fan of Guillermo del Toro's movies and a fan of most things Kojima has done. This is a huge blow, and obviously this was kind of the crux for the whole, or at least part of the big problem with the whole fallout with Konami and Kojima. And of course now, with PT pulled from PlayStation Store, because Konami said it was never going to be released, so there's no point in having it, we're not really going to ever see something.
People
like
list
that
PlayStation 4s with PT installed for 4 figures on eBay.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily
Didn't you
sell
say
for
you
that
accidentally
much, but-
deleted it?
Yeah, I did. You've heard this story before, probably. You know how when you press options on an app on the PlayStation menu, the menu comes up and it says there's like close application, delete. I meant to close the application and I deleted it.
But the sinister part of your subconscious was like,
Yeah. Jay, what do you
just
mean?
drove
Don't
you to-
phrase it like that, didn't you? You know very well. You're just trying to push my buttons. He saw he saw this the
did
other
you
day.
will it to happen?
No, he didn't see it happen. He saw the PT not installed or like unavailable or something. He's like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah,
and you already
it's
know.
still listed. If you go to your art, your whatever, like the games that you own, it'll still sit there, and it's like, sorry, won't download it for you.
Yeah.
Mine's still there. Of course, now Mike's going to sneak into my room and delete it.
Oh my god, it's gonna be great. Isn't there a way, or wasn't there a way a few months ago that you could just get around and potentially fuck up your PlayStation?
Well, like a year ago, you could essentially like tap into like a spoof server that had the data on there. You had to like go through, I think, a VPN to like whatever get the game.
Sure. Yeah, my PS4.
You wouldn't understand.
My PS4 sucks now.
Now it's only worth like $200 instead of $400.
Yeah, here we are talking about how Sony's falling through on promises. Sony has nothing to do with this. I'm just being, hard-headed.
Can you believe that they actually released Last Guardian? Can you believe that happened?
Yeah. Not really. I haven't finished that game yet.
Neither have I.
It's a different conversation.
What's wrong with you guys?
What do you mean, what's wrong with me?
No, I said, what the hell is wrong with you?
Okay, give me Silent Hills, and then you finish that, and I'll finish Last Guardian.
What?
I don't know. I'm still pissed. You had to bring up the whole thing about deleting Silent PT.
Can we
Jerk.
make that a section with a new lobby? I just bring up you.
You just push
deleting
my
that?
buttons, and I get pissed off and
Oscar
can't even
shames.
host the show
See if we can
anymore.
get him to
I
leave.
lost my place on this list. All right, Rainbow Six Patriots. Rainbow Six Siege is a very good game. I really like playing that, Jake. I know you do too. Aaron Sampson here at GameSpot plays that a lot as well. Talks about it a lot too. It's a very good shooter, tactical shooter. But when Rainbow Six Patriots was first announced, it was more story driven. It was, well, as opposed to not really story driven at all for Siege, but it looked pretty cool. It was more about, domestic defense, I guess. And then, of course, this demo, not to spoil this demo right now, but
What clip are we showing?
I have no idea what this is actually.
Square to blow out.
Yeah, go to the part with the bridge. There's a part later on where this civilian has bombs strapped to him or her.
This is a great shooter, I can tell.
Yeah.
Kiss wife square.
This just looks like heavy rain. Here we go. This is what I was hoping to see. This civilian has bombs strapped to him, so you end up essentially,
Push body.
pushing him off the bridge in order
square a
to.
lot.
It looks like it was like weighing the needs of the few versus the many, asking moral questions about this preemptive defense and this kind of special warfare and whatnot. It's pretty grim, and it actually kind of turned heads at the time because of Rainbow Six has always been this good guys versus bad guys story under Tom Clancy and everything. But this looked like it was actually kind of hoping to tread new ground, but it never came to fruition. Ubisoft changed direction, and Rainbow Six Siege was released. Still a great game, but kind of disappointing because Rainbow Six Patriots looks like it might be doing something interesting.
Yeah, I mean, as cool as I love the multiplayer Rainbow Six Siege, I played a lot of it when it came out, but the no campaign in there, like no co-op campaign, especially coming off Vegas 1 and 2, where like co-op campaign, that's like, I spent so much time doing that, and it was kind of a bummer that got cut, and then you look at this, and it seems like they were in the works for something like that.
Yeah. In terms of another game that kind of is in a new form now, it's Prey 2. So Arcane Studios under Raf Colantonio is making Prey, just the remake essentially, and it looks great for all intents and purposes from what we've played. Obviously, like Harvey Smith at Arcane headed up development on Dishonored 2, and then Raf Colantonio, the duo who worked on Dishonored 1, Raf Colantonio is now heading up Prey, and it looks great. But Prey 2 back in the day in 2009, development began. It was announced in 2006. Developer 3D Realms was supposed to be working on it. Publisher 3D Realms was going to publish it, and then developer Human Head Studios did not begin working on it until 2009 after the rights for Prey had transferred from 3D Realms to ZeniMax Media, the parent company Bethesda. But then shit just hit the fan, and Prey 2 never came along. Did you guys play Prey 1, 2006?
No.
I did.
You did? What'd you think of it? It was super weird.
I mean, I remember it came out when there weren't many other first-person shooters on the 360 at that time, or at least not many sci-fi. I think I was like waiting for Halo 3 or something like that, and it was fun. Like, it was cool with what it did, but I don't like it. I don't remember a lot of it. I remember it did a lot with like gravity, like you were like running upside down and stuff like that. This I thought looked much cooler because it looked more like a Han Solo type, like bounty hunting and stuff like that. Like, it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, so then the rights kind of quietly transferred to Arcane Studios, but then Bethesda formally canceled the game in 2014. But lo and behold, here we are again, and Arcane is making Prey. And essentially, I'm actually not that disappointed because I think it gives Arcane more leeway to do whatever they want with it within that existing universe and doing weird things. You could transform into like cups.
That's what I've always wanted to do.
It looks awesome.
I want to hit square to kiss my wife, and I want to turn into cups.
Yeah. Just fill yourself with coffee. I don't understand what's going on in this footage right now. It does look super weird. Prey 2 is, just kind of ceased to exist, and now we have Prey. So again, just like Star Wars 1313 or Titan, canceled, but kind of rising from the ashes again. Phrase Pete's making fun of me for saying all the time.
You're just so dramatic, that's all.
Yeah. Another third-person shooter, Starcraft Ghost. Starcraft Ghost. Third-person shooter following the Terran psychic espionage agent Nova. This reminds me of Command & Conquer Renegade. Were you guys Command & Conquer fans?
Yeah, back in the day, like when it was like Red Alert 2.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite games. Did you ever play Renegade?
No.
They took Command & Conquer and just made it a first person.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, was it first person?
Yeah.
I thought it was, okay.
No,
Either
it's
way.
first. I played it. It wasn't that good. It actually was awful. But it was cool that like a strategy franchise, being a big RTS fan, it was weird to see it go into another genre I love, first person. But that was the case with StarCraft Ghost.
First person's a perspective, not a genre.
First person shooter.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Jake,
were you pretty... Do you play a lot of StarCraft? Or did you?
I mean, I played StarCraft. I didn't play a lot of it. I never got to like...
Did you
I
play
just played the story, basically.
Did you play a lot of Ghost?
I played a lot of Ghost. I actually finished it, and then I told
sick.
them they should probably cancel this game because
Really?
it's not that good. Yeah, so people can hate me.
They brought you in as a consultant?
No, I didn't play any of it, actually, and I don't think anyone played
Nope.
any of it. But that game was delayed a lot, if I remember correctly, and then finally got canned. I remember that stung quite a bit for a lot of people. People were really excited for that game.
Yeah, because it was based around kind of stealth and telekinesis and psychic powers and whatnot. So it looks like it was kind of doing, a twist on the original or a traditional third-person formula, which other games have done. You're looking at like, what is it, Vanquish? Am I thinking of a really good third-person shooter?
and it was a turn for Blizzard as well to do something different, which people always got excited about, and they were really successful for a while doing that.
Yeah,
they still are. What am I talking about
Overwatch. They do really well when they branch into new fields. But yeah, and then the last one I wanted to touch on, which I don't know whether it will strike a chord with people anymore, but LMNO, I remember, was EA announced it, and it was in conjunction with Steven Spielberg. They just sold it as this story-driven adventure game with an emotional arc. I think, honestly, the only reason people were excited for it was that Steven Spielberg was attached to it. I think it was late 2010 or 2011 that it was shown.
So what was hot for Spielberg around then? What was he coming off? Road to Perdition?
Warhorse in 2011. Did he do Warhorse?
Yeah, he did Warhorse.
Not Road to Perdition. That was a while. That was like 2004, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It's a good movie. Who made that movie where the dinosaurs come back to life? Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, LMNO, just figured I'd bring it up because it was a big deal and got canceled. But again, I don't know how much of that was just based on the fact that Steven Spielberg was attached to it.
Why are you trying to bury Mega Man Legends 3? I'm not going to let you move on.
Bring up Mega Man Legends 3 if you want. Let's talk about it.
Mega Man Legends 3 was a really poor cancellation because for years people wanted this game. Keiji Inafune was like, I know, I want to do it too. He was still at Capcom. He was like, all right, Capcom wants to make it happen. Outside of Keiji Inafune, Capcom was like, hey fans, we want to hear what you want this game to be. So we're going to put out a poll. Not enough people voted in the poll. And so when the game was canceled, they said not enough people spoke up, so we thought no one cared.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That's a great story, I think, because
it is really funny.
Whoa.
That's the most direct way to get use your feedback. Let us know what you think if you want this game to happen.
Did they say how many responses they needed? Like, what if they just
they needed 350 and they didn't even get it?
I mean, I think maybe the truth has actually come out to be slightly different than that, but that was the messaging from the spokesperson at the time. Is that you guys didn't speak? You guys,
where were you? Did you vote?
You didn't make enough email accounts to vote as many times as possible.
This is what happened with
GameSpot.
Trump.
I was working in a kitchen.
You were working in a kitchen?
Yes.
Oh, this is this is wild. When was this?
Oh, whoa.
When was this?
2010, maybe 2011 was when it was canceled, but 2010 was when they were like, all right, this is a thing. And before the 3DS came out, they're like, oh, we're going to put out a demo soon so you guys can play the game. Like, that never even happened.
That would have been a good cautionary tale for Hillary Clinton to use in her campaign. This is what happens when you don't vote.
Yeah, Keiji Inafune should have been her advisor.
Did you like Mega Man Legends and 1 and 2?
No.
Why is this disappointing to you then?
Not disappointing to me, disappointing to a lot of people.
Oh, come on.
I like that those games exist, but I didn't like
I like that
them.
volcanoes exist, but I'm not going to go play one.
Volcanoes don't get canceled either.
It's a good point. They're always ready to go. Mega Man Legends 3 is just waiting to erupt at some point. We'll see it again. Mark my words. Microsoft is going to blow us all out of the water with the launch bundle for the Scorpio with Mega Man Legends 3.
This is kind of out of left field, but do you remember that? I think it was called like something Las Vegas, and you just like walked around Las Vegas. Jean-Luc actually brought it up like about a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I forgot about this game, and it was just like you walk around Las Vegas and you gamble, and it got canceled. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what it was like.
We were going to end on a high note, Jake.
Yeah, wait, Jean-Luc, before we go, what is this game called? Jean-Luc's in the back right now.
Vegas, baby. I think that was the name.
He must know what it's called.
Was it Jean-Luc's game?
This is
Vegas? It's the most literal thing ever. That's just like someone driving through the desert.
That's like what the
city
game
is this?
like.
Oh, this is Vegas.
That's the game.
That's the game.
What do people do here? You're doing it.
$60 to come across this random city in the middle of a desert. Sick. Put 12 on black, and then I'll see you at the bar later. Gambling joke. You guys never... I don't gamble. I don't like Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, but I don't like it. I wouldn't want to play a game.
You stand up for
here's the
volcanoes
website.
all the time.
This is Vegas. Sweet. Thanks to Jean-Luc for bringing up that hidden gem.
Try clearing your cookies.
This has gone on long enough. It's depressing for a number of reasons, namely so because Scalebound's canceled for people who are looking forward to that. And like Platinum Games like myself, it is disappointed. So let's hope no other games get canceled. Let's hope Crackdown 3 releases. Let's hope State of Decay 2 comes to fruition. In the meantime, let us know what your most disappointing canceled game is or was, regardless of how long ago it was. Please don't talk to me about Mega Man Legends 3. I've heard enough about it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.